It's a bird, it's a plane, it's an air plant.
Air plant? Is that a plant that falls out of the sky, bonking you on the head when you least expect it? Or is it some kind of weird plant that you go hunting for during air plant season, dropping your limit with a trusty slingshot? Man, I bagged me a big one today. No. Here's the scoop. So-called air plants don't fall from the sky or attack you a la an Alfred Hitchcock movie, although they might well enjoy taking a shower with you. Rather, they are the largest member of a big old family of plants that are known as bromeliads. And no, that don't rhyme with Rolaids, baby. And anyway, don't all plants need some dirt? You mean these just need air? Well, no again. They might have been seen on somebody's fridge magnet back in the day, but those plants were probably pretty seriously pissed off from their neglect. But first, a little bit about that big family of plants called bromeliads. In 1493, Columbus returned with bromeliads for me. So, if you happen to live in Spain in the 15th century, you might have gotten a taste of the only bromeliad that is grown for food, the pineapple. It was grown by natives of the Caribbean when Columbus got his first taste. Later, in the 1700s and 1800s, some other currently popular types of bromeliads were introduced back to Spain. These were the Guzmania, the Echmea, the Vresia, and nowadays these are some of the most easily obtainable types used to decorate homes and offices. But the biggest member of that family is known as the Tillandsias, many of which could be considered air plants. So, all air plants are bromeliads, but not all bromeliads are air plants. Basically, an air plant is one that's found growing on another plant or rock, holding on to that other plant as a means of support. But it's not a parasite, more like a hitchhiker. Some cling to trees, some to rocks, and others to loose leaf litter on the jungle floor. They're mostly native to tropical South and Central America, with some even into the southern U.S. Here's an example. Spanish moss, that strange stuff of southern lore, making for all the mysterious atmosphere hanging from trees. Spanish moss, which is neither Spanish nor moss, is actually, cue the drum roll, an air plant. Ta-da! Tillandsia usinoides is the smallest leaf type of all Tillandsias, even though they form great colonies as they drape themselves in trees. And trips to Florida will show you colonies of Tillandsias climbing up and down the palm trees planted around your poolside deck. If air plants form any roots, they're mostly for clinging to their host plant. This characteristic is called epiphytic. Most air plants are epiphytes, but not all epiphytes are air plants. Confused yet? Examples of such would be the staghorn fern and many orchids that naturally grow on trees but still have roots that function like you'd expect. But true air plants get their water and nourishment from rainwater, leaf litter, and yummy bird poop falling on their leaves. And so their leaf structure has evolved to take advantage of such conditions. All bromeliads have what are known as trichomes, which are tiny scales on their leaves, giving some of them a fuzzy, grayish-green appearance. These trichomes serve to absorb water and nutrients and also protect the plant from heat or cold and drying winds. And let me tell you, these guys are really fun to pet. What fun and interesting textures. Another characteristic of Tillandsias and bromeliads in general is that they are monocarpic, which means they bloom only once and then start to make babies that usually appear at the base of their stem. Some grow babies on the top of the flower. That tuft of leaves on top of a pineapple is really a new baby plant being formed. But in the meantime, they are forming large clumps of colonies on their host plant, making them very ornamental and sometimes colorful. So, why are all these Tillandsias or air plants so fun to collect? Well, you do have the wide range of sizes, shapes, textures, and natural colorings they go through as they bloom. One kind, called a xyrographica, is endangered in the wild, but grown by many plant nurseries, so not at all hard to find. But they are also really easy and fun to incorporate into floral or plant design for your home. So they pair well with succulents. Terrariums are a no-brainer with the passel of air plants in it. Now, if you put a fairy gnome in a terrarium, do you get a ferrarium? Throw in some deco moss or sand and you look like a genius. They lend themselves fantastically for orchid design or accompanying succulents or other decorative objects hot glued to a piece of driftwood. And unlike cut succulents, these air plants, if given proper frequent watering and misting, could outlive those succulents for a long time. So, what's the best way to take care of these cool guys? They'll do best if given fairly bright light. I've had good luck with spraying or soaking weekly for most species, although some that are native to drier areas may just want an occasional misting. Just make sure to shake out the middle of the plant and don't let them sit in water overnight, or you will most likely discover a rotted mess. You can even lightly fertilize them with a natural fertilizer like fish emulsion or a very dilute liquid plant food that's specially made for bromeliads. So go ahead, save water, and shower with your tillandsias. And when your horticultural design needs some finishing touches of inspiration, go out on a limb. You might find an air plant there.